Hey everyone. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. 2 days ago, well, actually, probably by the time you see this, it will have been this past Tuesday. So that could be 3 or 4 days ago. Anyway, Apple had an event, but let's just call it what it is. It was a mini event. But Apple, seriously, could you not just done a press release or like released a video about this? Because this little mini event was very underwhelming, in my opinion. I watched basically the entire thing, and I thought it was the keynote address that they were going to talk about a whole lot of Apple products, but it was just talking about a few items, and we're going to be talking about two of those items right now. So, if you don't know, if you're not aware, Apple released two new iPads and a new Apple Pencil. So, without further ado, let's look at these because honestly, this is what I'm talking about. It's the thinnest possible. It's thin possible is what they're saying right here. Look at the price. The price is very expensive, but again, it's Apple. One thing that I did notice that I do like about it is how thin it is. This is very thin. I like the fact that it's thin. My phone. Take the case off. It's pretty thin. It's pretty thin. It's not bulky in my pocket. Besides having it be big. But so let's talk about some of the specs on this. So as you can tell, people are very excited about this. It's a 5.1 millimeter inch, frame. It's very thin. That's pretty thin in my opinion. And so if you go to the next one, it has a really nice retina screen. I like that. It looks really nice. I could see myself watching a lot of videos and movies on that. And it has that M4 chip, which my MacBook that I'm recording this on right now has the M1 chip. So this is 3 chips more advanced than my MacBook. So it looks really nice. It has game-changing graphics and powerful AI capabilities, and it can help you crush your workflow, which is really nice. But there's a lot of it that I'm not the biggest fan of, and again, it also goes back to the thinness. I like the thinness, but I don't like the thinness because with it being so thin, it's so thin. I could see myself easily losing this, and that's why I would want to put like a pretty thick case on it just so I wouldn't lose it. But I also worry about if it's in like my backpack, if I'm on the road doing some recordings, or if I'm in school, I'm trying to get everything in my backpack. Could this break? I'm not sure. I'm tempted to well, I'm not tempted. I'm not made of money. I was about to say I'm tempted to buy one and check the durability, but I'm not made of money. But going on, it's really nice. It comes in 2 different colors, which is really nice. I like the fact that it comes into the silver and the space black. I personally am a big fan of the space black. I'm kind of biased that way especially when it comes to things like this, because I don't want to have that white border or whatever around my screen that's kind of deterring me from what I'm watching or looking at. Anyway, so it's the thrill sleeker. It's a very catchy, very catchy phrase if I can get the words out of my mouth. But it said, it's like it packs astonishing power into an unbelievably thin, light, and portable design. Pushes the limits of what's possible on the iPad, and with a super portable 11-inch model and expansive 13-inch model, that is the thinnest product Apple has ever created. Now that's cool, guys. Full disclosure, I'm a big Apple fan. Like I'm recording this on a MacBook. I have an Apple Watch. I have an iPhone. I have AirPods. I've used several several Apple products in my life, and I continue to use them. I stand by them. But when it comes to iPads, I'm a little hesitant because a little backstory. I actually bought an iPad before. I was very excited about it. It was my first year of college. I was so stoked. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is gonna really help me with college. Like I'm so excited. I won't have to pay for books. I can just do ebooks. I can look at things for my text ebook while I'm on my computer answering questions. Like I went into it with a good train of thought, but when it came down to it, I didn't use it for school that much. I was mostly using it to play games on. I was using it to play, Netflix movies on and all that kind of stuff. I actually ended up selling it because I just felt like I wasn't getting the value out of it that I thought I would. But going back to this is something that I would be tempted to buy maybe down the road, but I wouldn't be as tempted to buy this one as the iPad Air, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. You can see how thin it is, and again, that goes back to that fact that I'm worried that I could easily lose this thing or that it could get damaged, because don't get me wrong, Apple products are very durable, but they also have a tendency to cost quite a bit when it comes to repairs. I could tell you some horror stories about some of the repairs I've had to do on my Apple products. And so it's the world's most advanced display. It's talking about that Ultra Retina XDR, which is really nice. Like I could see myself, like editing videos or editing photos on this, and it would be very nice. But I want to go back to the iPad Air, because the iPad Air it's probably the one that I would look into more than the iPad Pro, because it's more cost efficient. Fresh air. So as you can see, it's like, almost less than half the cost of the other one. And it doesn't have all the quirks and everything that the iPad Pro has, but it works. It's talking about it's a redesigned, it's 2 portable sizes, M2 chip, which is just the one, again, my MacBook that I'm recording this on right now has the M1 chip. So it has a really great front camera, beautiful new colors. Gotta love those colors, right? And I mean, you can see that they really are trying to get you with it. They're like, oh my gosh, look at this cool Retina display. Like and I am impressed with this. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm very impressed with this, and it looks very user friendly. I like it a lot. For all you gamers out there, that talk about how the M2 chip, incredible performance and blazing fast graphics with AI capabilities. And then it talks about the Apple Pencil Pro that we're going to be talking about next. But all in all, this would be a more feasible option for me, for anyone, like especially someone who's in college. If you're in college and you're watching this, like this would probably be a good option for you if you're like, I'm really tired of paying those expensive costs for like an actual physical copy of a book. I'd rather just have an ebook. Do this. And you can see the various colors they have, which look really nice. But then it's talking about here's the 2 sizes of infinite possibilities. So you have the smaller size, so it's the 11-inch model, and then you have the 13-inch model, which is also nice. Now, guys, real quick, my brother, who's in the other room, he has an iPad. He didn't get the Pro. I remember talking with him on the phone about it, and he's like, the Pro is nice, but it was really expensive, and I just couldn't see myself spending all that money on an iPad Pro. And he's perfectly happy with the iPad that he has. It's just the basic model, and he likes it. He enjoys it a lot. He has the Apple Pencil, the first or second edition Apple Pencil, which is fine. But he didn't go out all guns and blazing. He was trying to be cost efficient. He was at the time working on his master's degree, trying to save money. So that's the key thing here, is that you got to save money, especially if you're a college student, or if you're just someone that's barely getting into like a career and you need like a tablet or something. Save money and get this one, the iPad Air. So let's talk about this a little bit more. It's like now you can choose between an 11-inch and an all-new 13-inch iPad Air, each with gorgeous high-resolution liquid retina display that brings everything you love to life. Both displays deliver a brilliant, responsive, and color-accurate viewing experience, which would be very nice. Man, they just know how to win you over with this stuff, don't they? And discover what you can do with the power of the M2, which, I could see myself creating videos, editing videos on these. That's what I actually used my first iPad on, for, I should say, quite a bit. And honestly, like it's very flat, flat out the M2 flat out flies. They just know how to get you with those catchy phrases, don't they? And it looks really nice. Like it's very sleek. It's very, user friendly. That's one thing I've always loved about Apple products. They're very user friendly. And let's talk about this right here, where it talks about, he's like, the incredibly fast M2 chip brings breakout performance to iPad Air. With a CPU, GPU, and neural engine that it's nearly 50% faster than previous generations. So you can easily plan out your house remodel and thimble, SketchUp, and play the latest AAA games like Zenless, Zone Zero, and all the AI enabled motion tracking on form to fine-tune your golf swing at the amazing efficiency for all-day battery life, which is very helpful because I can tell you right now, if I was to have this as a, tech enthusiast, as a YouTuber, I would probably be on this thing quite a bit using it, and so that would be helpful to have all-day battery life. So iPad OS and apps get something wonderful with this. You can see how they're really trying to really just bring you in with it. We can go on and on about this. If you guys want me to do a full breakdown of why I think this would be great, let me know in the comments, because I could easily do a really big breakdown of this. But I wanted to share another screen because I wanted to talk about something that I've been kind of anti over, and they just announced another one in that event, and it's the Apple Pencil Pro. So you can see that it's very expensive. It's $130. Very, very expensive for my taste. Too expensive for my taste. Engrave a mixture of emoji name, initials, and numbers on Apple Pencils, unmistakably yours, only at Apple. So it's like, what's in the box? So let's talk about the overview. Apple Pencil adds an even more magical capabilities to help bring your ideas to life, which here at the end, I'll show you guys a little video that Apple came out with that really kind of shows. So, double tap quickly to switch between tools like a pen and eraser. Sorry, I got the hiccups. If you misplace your Apple Pencil Pro while you're out and about or at home, you can easily locate it with the Find My app, which is very helpful. I use the Find My app for everything. I love the app. It's been a lifesaver and a life changer. I tend to be very forgetful. Those watching who know me in real life, they know this to be true. So let's talk about the tech specs. It's about 166 millimeters, so 6.5 inches. It's not very long, which is, the average size of a pencil. Diameter is about 8.9 millimeters, so 0.35 inches, and it's about 6.68 ounces. So that's very helpful because it's not heavy, it's not too long, it's not too bulky, which is very great. But if you're like, well, I don't want to get the iPad Pro or the iPad Air that just came out, I want to use this on on an older iPad model, just make sure that you have the that your system can handle iPad OS 17.5 or later. So honestly, guys, like, I could do a full breakdown on this. Like, I love talking about tech. This is something that I am very passionate about. Like I've said in previous videos, that every family has that tech person in their family that people go to for technical problems, that's me in my family. Like my family's always asking me like, how do I do this? This isn't connecting, like, or how would I get this going? And I'm always able to just break it down in simple terms for them. So if you want me to break this stuff down in simple terms, make sure you tell me in the comments below. And honestly, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Like, would you be tempted to buy one of these? Like, whether it be the iPad Pro, the iPad Air, or the Apple Pencil Pro? Like, let me know in the comments below. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.